The last thing he says before the mics come on is, "You guys are so wrong."
Look
about
at
your
that
football
look
takes."
on Bruce Cooper's face.
Oh my! That's what you throw at us, Bruce Cooper, 34-year local legend here in the sports world for Channel 12.
Doesn't mean he was always right.
I know. Tell us why we're wrong, Coop.
Well, I walk in and I hear you guys talking about the Cardinals quarterback situation with Kyler Murray. Should LaFleur say this or should he say that? Or, should we even discuss having Kyler Murray back? Look, the Cardinals have done a lot of stupid things in their organizational career here. I mean, getting rid of Kyler Murray would be one of those stupid things. And it goes back to what I can't stress this enough. If you don't have anyone better than Kyler Murray, you stay with Kyler Murray.
I agree with you.
And let me say that there's nothing in the draft. There's nothing in free agency. And to be honest with you, if I'm LaFleur, if I'm with the Cardinals, I'm trading Jacoby Brissett. There's not going to be any semblance of a quarterback controversy on this roster.
Right.
Keaton Slovis, the former Scottsdale Desert Mountain High School, he is my backup to Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Absolutely. No, make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, people may want to ask, well, why do you like Kyler Murray over Brissett? Well, have you been watching football lately, guys? Have you been watching football? I'll just even take you to the Patriots' victory over Denver. I mean, they only scored 10 points to win that game. But
right.
let's face it, their defense with that big blunder by Jarrett Stidham gave them set up their only touchdown of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, the Broncos are on the edge of getting the ball back one more time. It's 3rd and 6. What's New England going to do? They don't want to put the ball up in the air because that could potentially stop the clock for Denver. They have no more timeouts left. Derek May, boots, 7 yards, first down.
Called it himself.
Don't even have to. And so that's my point. When you look at how many times have we watched Patrick Mahomes help the Chiefs win a Super Bowl with his legs?
Yeah. I'm not going to argue.
Yeah, and so I'm not interested in having the statuesque Jacoby Brissett behind center, especially if I'm a new quarterback, a new head coach going forward. I've already seen what teams will do to Brissett, if they really want him off the field. They'll do like Seattle did. Blitz.
Hold on.
2 fumbles.
But where's he coming from, LaFleur?
He's coming from a place with the L.A. Rams named Matthew Stafford, who's not a mobile quarterback.
He can't run anymore.
But what they have is a roster of playmakers on that offensive side of the ball. All he has to do is get it out to him.
Yeah.
Hand it off to him.
All you got to do is find yourself a puka.
And you're set. But my point is, the Cardinals don't have that, and so that's what
nobody has
that's what brings me to my draft anyway. And I can take care of that. I really can, people. I can fix the Cardinals.
We got time for that. But Coop,
we're not going there.
Coop, you've been here. You were here in '88 when the Cardinals came here.
I was,
and so you've seen a bunch of coaches' first interviews,
and seen it. Let me tell you something. You know the most impressive first interview I've ever sat in on?
Buddy Ryan.
No.
Okay.
You won't even believe this. Steve Wilks.
Really?
Steve, let me tell you something. Michael Bidwill, as he's setting up his introduction of Steve Wilks, he talked about how he just blew them away in the interview process. So we're sitting down and they're grilling questions. I mean, the guy just commanded that interview room. Okay. And I said to my guys, I said, Dang, I played for a lot of coaches myself, high school and college, but I've never. And I said, this guy easily, I would run through a wall for him.
Right.
It's that cliche. You would, but we see what he didn't turn out to be much of a head coach. But when you go back and you look at, he had Sam Darnold, he had Josh Rosen as his quarterbacks, and Rosen was a rookie. And then you saw where he had a second chance as an interim in Carolina. And he took them right to the precipice of the playoffs. So it's this Cardinals roster. It's this Cardinals roster. Their inability to put rosters together. The one time they gave Kyler one, they were 10-2.
Right.
And throwing the ball downfield.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your first question today? If they're going around and like the president goes, Coop.
Well, if they ask me my first question, I'm sure a lot of people are going to ask the quarterback question to begin with. So I'll go beyond that. I'll say, Mike, what impressed you most about the Cardinals? Because here's the deal. You had a 2-day consecutive interview. Then it's like they let you walk out the door. They went up to Seattle
They
and
told
had
him.
an interview.
They reportedly told him, we have one more interview we have to do.
Well, you know, I mean, so clearly you come back and I get the impression, Mike, you weren't their first choice. You may not even be their second choice. Your thoughts? That's what I'd ask.
Really?
Yes.
I put that out as soon as they announced him on Sunday. I put it out there and said, leave it to the Cardinals to cut the legs underneath their guy by making it look like they didn't even want him.
Yeah, it's that perception.
Yeah,
That's the perception.
No,
That might not be
question.
accurate, but
Well,
that's the perception they give us to talk about is, oh, this isn't our, we wanted the other guy, but we're
You
stuck
had
with
two,
this.
you had 2 days, and then we sent you home.
Yeah, absolutely. And that reminds me of the Arizona State Sun Devils when they eventually hired John Cooper as their head coach. They did pretty much
going
the
way
same
back.
thing. Yeah, they did pretty much the same thing. I mean, it was like John Cooper was their 9th choice. I mean, it really was like, so then, and he came from a small school called Tulsa. I'm not, look, if you're a Hurricane
We're
Grant,
talking
I'm
late
just,
80s,
I'm
folks.
just talking. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're talking late 80s,
Yes,
early
and so,
90s.
And so in the interview process, the introductory interview process with John Cooper, someone asked him, "Hey, John, it's obvious you weren't the Sun Devils' first choice. I mean, what can you say about that?" And he says, "Hell, I wasn't Helen's first choice, but she's my wife now."
You got to say with that draw, though.
I always remember I never knew any coach's wife, but he called her Helen. And so I'm like, man, that's always stuck with me. So look, maybe Mike LaFleur has an answer like that if someone asks that
I mean,
question.
if you're in Mike LaFleur's situation, he obviously wanted the job for whatever reason. God bless him for that and everything. But from Mike LaFleur, he doesn't care if he was third. The guys that take it in that position don't care. They want the opportunity. I'm on the other hand, and like I said, if they would have called me, I'd have been like, they call me now and go, look, you're a 92nd. I'd be like, I'm taking it because I don't have any other choices. But like you call me now and say, oh hey, I'm having this big lunch with all these people. I forgot to invite you. You're invited to come. My answer is no because you invited me last. But that's because I'm stubborn to that effect, and we're not talking about millions of dollars.
Well, having said that, let me ask you this. Let me ask both of you this. What do you think LaFleur's biggest challenge is coming in? Is it the NFC West division, or is it the Cardinals roster?
It's the Cardinals. It's internal.
The roster, okay.
I think you have to take care of the Cardinals first before you look outward. I would take care
because I mean,
he has to see some good in the offense.
If I'm looking for my first opportunity as a head coach,
the
division could be suicidal for me.
But there's no doubt about it.
I think that's why Robert Salah. I keep calling him Salah. You guys call him Salah. Or whatever.
Well, he
whatever.
said it's Salah.
Whatever.
I've always called him Salah, so I have a hard time breaking that. But he says it's Robert Salah.
Okay. Well, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why he went to
get out
take
of
the
the
Tennessee
division.
job.
Yes.
Because he, his first job was with the Jets. That turned out to be a suicide for him.
Guess
And
who
he's
was
not
there? Guess who was there with him?
LaFleur.
Yeah, as his
And
offensive
so-
coordinator.
and
He struggled there.
Yes, he did. And so they're not.
Everybody struggled.
So Salah is not looking for a second job that he has no chance at.
Because you got two chances in the NFL
and
to
so
make
that's
it
what
as a
brings me
coach.
to LaFleur. I'm like, man.
Well, let me tell you a story that might make you feel good.
Okay.
I think Steve has heard it before. But after my first year in 1990 in Dallas, Mike Shula was our offensive coordinator. I'm not a rocket scientist, Coop, but I ain't the dumbest tool in the shed either. It was the most complicated offense I'd ever been around. You didn't even know when the snap count was, much less than audible or whatever. And the guys just couldn't understand it, couldn't play. So fire him. Go out and try to hire an offense coordinator. Number 1 said no. Number 2 said no. Number 3 said no. Number 4 said no. Number 5 said no. And so you know who Jimmy ended up with? A guy named Norv Turner.
Is that right?
A wide receiver coach from San Diego.
I would say not even from a big school.
Yeah, from the San Diego Chargers. And Troy to this day will tell you if Norv doesn't come to Dallas, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
And
Yes,
so
sir.
there is hope for not being the first choice, is what I'm
Alright.
trying to tell you.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that. To me, it's more who coordinators he's going to get. So I have no doubt he's going to figure out the offensive issues that would happen last year. Like think of the teams that LaFleur was with before he got here. You know, he comes from the Shanahan coaching tree, he comes from the McVay coaching tree, etc. But I mean, he was with the Jets, and their offense struggled that year. That offense has struggled for a lot of years.
But
you
they're
know?
devoid of talent.
That's the issue. But then you come here, regardless of the quarterback, you can't tell me that now they're saying he's going to play the call, which does worry me a little bit. But is he going to get somebody experienced in here to help him when adversity hits? You know, the big talk was, you know, we had wanted the Atlanta Falcons, Raheem Morris is the defensive coordinator. Well, he goes to San Francisco. Then the rumor was Gus Bradley is looking at the Cardinals. He goes to the Titans yesterday. It's going to come down to who his coordinators are where if he's going to get to. But you asked me where the pressure's coming. It's coming from internally in the Cardinals because Michael Bidwell has set it up in that press conference. One of the reasons they moved on from Gannon was because teams are winning now. With new coaches.
And they can win and turn it around in a year.
And that's the pressure. So they've cut the feet out from underneath the LaFleur by kicking him out after 2 days, not offering him the contract, going up to Seattle, doing that fiasco when they had no chance at Kubiak, coming back, going to him again. They make it look like, we'll settle for this guy. And then you've got that added pressure of win now. That's going to be fascinating to hear how this is talked about today in this press conference.
Yeah, well, I think you should go there and make sure that he's not a coach that is emotionless and crosses his arms. I think that's paramount.
I'm gonna question him. No, I want to see from him. And I saw a video of him. He got off the private plane yesterday, and he had some excitement in his voice and everything, which gave me some hope. He's not going to be that emotionless a-hat. I'm not saying
he got off the private plane here at Scottsdale Airport.
Yeah, and then he got on the voice call saying, "I'm here. You know, I'm excited to be part of the Cardinals." You know,
is that right? I missed that. Okay.
But he had some excitement in his voice and stuff like that. You know, he's definitely not going to get up there today and be like, "Did anybody take the bus here today?"
No, that's opening a training camp. That's opening a training camp.
Is there a fire in your gut right now?
Are you curious as to what does LaFleur have say in his staff and player personnel?
Well, you know, Dale, I'm a little curious about that because when you hear names like Raheem Morris and Gus Bradley, those are experienced ex-head coaches and coordinators.
Right.
Something that was devoid of Gannon's staff.
Yes.
And so if what I'm reading between the lines, if Michael Bidwell is saying, okay, I'm giving you an open checkbook to go and bring in some experienced coaches around you,
right.
Let's do it. And if that's the case, that's exciting.
Yes.
That's exciting because if Bradley and Morris, if their choices came down to errors, and I hear it, and look, Albert Breer said this.
Yep.
He said that the Cardinals offered more money to Bradley than what Bradley eventually got with the Titans.
Really?
And so that's exciting to me because
but then nobody wants to come here.
Well, that's a good point
that's
too.
issue number two.
But here's what's
they don't even want to come here for more money, Q.
No, but I get that. But here's what's exciting: the fact that Michael Bidwell is giving
that's the rumor
open checkbook for that. That's a win.
Yes,
that's a win.
Well,
it might not be a win right this second, but yes, at least that's a breath of fresh air.
Just like the training facility that that's a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
This is a breath of fresh air.
I mean, just experienced coaches they're being picked off really quickly now that all the head coaches have signed. Like, trust me, I want Matt Nagy nowhere near my team. I feel sorry for you if Matt Nagy's on your team. Well, Matt Nagy is now the offensive coordinator of the Giants. So enjoy John Harbaugh's farewell tour here in the NFL.
But if you're an offensive coordinator, why would you want to come here if what they're saying is true?
I don't disagree, but get an experienced guy that doesn't want the role, that can come in here and help you on your offense. To me, the defensive side's more important. If he's going to call the play calls, that means he needs somebody that he can count on to run that defense while he's working the offense out there.
And here's the deal.
And it's got to be somebody experienced. If it's some no-name guy that has never been in that position before, that's going to be the worst news on the planet.
But here's the deal. According to Breer, Bradley was on the coaching staffs
Yes.
with both Saleh and with
He,
LaFleur.
he was a consultant last year for San Francisco's defense, where Saleh
Right,
came from.
right,
Obviously.
and
So
so
he's got a relationship.
and so you're right, and so if LaFleur is going, and hey, maybe he turns to his brother in Green Bay
Yeah.
and maybe steal someone off of his staff.
Yeah,
that
but
he
his
can
brother just hired. What kind of question marks do you have with him? He just hired Jonathan Gannon as his defensive coordinator. There's already one statue in Green Bay. You don't need two of them.
Well, here's the deal. At least Gannon can say he directed a Super Bowl team from a defensive coordinator.
Talk to anybody in the Eagles, man, and he's the reason they lost that Super Bowl, which I tend to agree with him.
You have to get there to lose it.
Well, there's problems going up there. Well, I'll say this: it's going to be fascinating because I think this is the coaching interview today, which I don't care about head coaches' first press conferences. They can be one. Just don't embarrass yourself. Don't be like the Jets do, right? But who was the one guy that had the eyes and he was all
Gates or what was it? It started with a G.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I know.
For the Cardinals?
No, for the Jets. Don't
The guy
embarrass
with the
yourself.
googly
Yeah,
eyes.
he had the googly eyes, and people.
Gaze.
Yeah, Gaze, I think. But people had like tacos on there with his
Yeah.
eyes all following it. Don't embarrass yourself in a press conference. That's rule number one.
Although,
But you don't have to win
Although
one.
you could be Liam Cohen and be bashed for yelling, screaming out
Duval,
Duval.
yeah. Well, that looks stupid. I made fun of her.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell famously said, "We're going to be biting kneecaps." I still make fun of him for that.
Look. At least those guys came in with the Buddy Ryan bravado. I mean, Buddy, his first words were, "Hey, you got to win
in
in town."
Yeah.
Today is the press conference where he needs to win this, and he needs to show the energy, and he needs to show his plan. And today's the day to do it. And you got today to do it, or everybody's going to turn on you today.
Steve,
I'm telling you.
I don't think winning the press conference is that important because I told you.
If he goes out there negative,
Steve Wilkes hit a grand slam in his introductory press conference.
It's not to show. You're not going out there to be positive and win the press conference because you need to show you belong. You need a different culture here than
You definitely need a different culture.
this.
You definitely need it.
In the Michael Bidwell canned answer, I'm not negotiating the contract with you guys here, and we need to win now. And just the staleness. You need something different today than what we've seen here repeatedly over the last three coaching hires, with Cliff and then Jonathan Gannon. Today's the day you have to showcase it.
Do we know what time the press conference is?
Noon.
Yeah.
Noon.
Yeah. It's so it's gonna be
You heading down
gonna be
there, Dale?
interesting.
I'm person non grata down there. I think security would turn me away.
They have a picture of Dale.
Yeah.
Right there.
Make
20
mistake
years
about it.
later.
Yeah, make no mistake
It's-
about it.
It's just, like I said, but winning the press conference isn't the right term, but you need to show something here today to get fans hyped up. This could go either way with this hire because of the way it went down.
Yeah.
People are excited he's here. Don't get me wrong, but that can change. And if you hear anything about 3-year rebuilds, I'm going to vomit.
No. Matter of fact, and I know Dale doesn't want me to bring it up, but I'm sacrificing 3 years of premium draft picks to actually get it done this year.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's my argument. You can go and trade for guys that are going to be available this year that have shown they can impact. That's it. So, Coop, you can't see it, but this is him getting off the private plane yesterday here. I'm going to play it for Coop here, everybody, so I apologize. But look at this. Look at this excitement. The whole family's smiling. The kids are into this. Jonathan Gannon would have got off that plane and stood there.
And he said, "Go Cardinals."
What do you guys do? There's another one where he did some more talking, but he's a young guy. He's brash. He struck me. I've never heard this guy talk before, by the way. LaFleur. Yesterday was the first time I've heard his voice. So I was a bald guy. I can say it. Stupid hair, the cut that he's got. I don't like it. Whatever. Get a haircut. Get something more professional.
Oh, wow.
But he comes off and he came off and I went, okay, that's a guy that is taken after Shanahan, taken after McVay, and he's got that style. He's got a little bit of an excitement to him walking off the plane, and that's what I want to see today. That's all I'm saying. Just give us something different.
And the hope, when you talk about a 3-year plan, the hope is what Bidwell said when he let Jonathan Gannon go, is the fact that he's looked around the league.
Yeah.
and he's seen New England go from 4 wins to 14
I mean, realistically, the Cardinals
turn around.
Yeah, the
quickly.
Cardinals aren't going to a deep playoff run next year
No.
just because of their division is going to keep them down. Now, every team in the division took a hit in terms of coaching except for one, and that's the Niners. I don't think going from Robert Saleh to Raheem Morris is that big of a drop-off as a defensive coordinator.
No.
But Rams losing their offensive coordinator to the Raiders, how's Sam Darnold going to react to that? Obviously, big question. And then, of course, Rams. Now, he's a big part of the Rams, but, they've obviously moved on from bigger names in the past and stuff to that effect. But both of those two teams at least have taken it. But now they're going to go from 12, 13 wins down to 10 wins. They're not taking huge drops with these moves.
Well, here's the deal. And this is why I think there is some realm of some sliver of hope for the Cardinals. They lost 3 consecutive walk-offs, 5 consecutive games by 1 score.
Right.
So if you flip that, all of a sudden you flipped your season.
Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Like Denver won 9 of those this year.
Yeah. And so,
Well, Kansas City, their Super Bowl, those three in a row, they won those, and they were kicking field goals with no time left to
Right.
win them,
And
and so you win those games, and you generally are a playoff.
yeah,
team.
and so while you talk about the Cardinals in this big rugged division, I think 2 of those walk-offs were against their division opponent.
Yes.
And I think the 49ers game started it all off.
Right.
I mean, they had it. If Zay Jones holds onto that ball
Yeah.
and gets stripped, I mean, it's a different.
Nobody's talking about this, so I'm going to be the first one to bring it up. In the Valley, I've heard nobody else talk about this. So I'm going to bring it up to you two right now.
Okay.
Everybody's focusing on Kyler Murray in the quarterback position. To me, the important questions during this interview process: how do you fix Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Well,
Do you think now he's an offensive, I'm not going to call him a genius, but he's an offensive mastermind.
well, here's the deal.
Can he come in here and fix this
no,
receiving
no.
core?
Here's the deal. You can only fix the receiving core through better personnel, which I'll fix. All right, through the draft.
Coop, a ball hits you in the hands, you got to catch it as a receiver. That's not on the quarterback.
But here's the deal. See, there's not a coach that can fix that. That's a Marvin Harrison thing.
That's my point.
There's not a coach that can
That's
fix
my
that.
issue. So
And
are you asking what are you going to do with your receivers if the Cardinals are like Marvin Harrison Jr. is not it?
What I have to do is I have to get Marvin Harrison playing with confidence.
Right.
I don't know what's got his. Is it the trash talk between the field or something? What's getting between his ears that he has these concentration lapses?
Where he drops balls hitting right in the hands.
Yeah, there's no question. But a coach, he's not going to fix. That starts with Marvin Harrison.
It does.
But that's my point, though. Is that not a question the Cardinals should have? What's your plan for our receiver? You don't have to nail Marvin Harrison out, but you go in and go, "What's your plan at quarterback? What do you see? What's your plan with our receiving core?"
Here's 3 things here's 2 things that they have to do on that offensive side of the ball. They have to upgrade their running back room, and that means getting rid of James Conner and getting rid of Trey Benson. Don't even talk about but James Conner. No. James Conner's gone. Out. Gone.
More threatening to me is people going, well, Trey Benson hasn't had a fair shot. We need to bring him back. That's my biggest concern.
Coop, I like it.
Not even, second is the receiving core. And there's only 2 receivers I'm even bringing back, and it's Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison. Everyone else is gone. Yeah, no, don't talk to me about Greg Dortch.
No. See, here's the difference.
Gone.
Greg Dortch could turn into
Greg
a Puka
Dortch
type receiver.
is gone.
He could turn into a
He's
Puka
not.
type
He's
receiver.
not coming back.
He could come back.
No.
He could be a Puka type receiver. I'm not saying at that level.
No.
I'm saying he could be a guy out of the slot, catch those short passes,
he's
and
done.
make some big plays.
He's done. He's done.
Good.
I'm only 2 running backs I'm bringing back. DeMarcado and Bam Knight, only 2 receivers I'm bringing back, Wilson and Harrison. I've rebuilt that entire thing. And here's the deal. I'm talking about speed. I'm talking about burst. And I'm even bringing in a receiver that has a physique like we see with A.J. Brown and D.K. Metcalf. But I'm bringing also over-the-top speed. And I've got those guys all right here, but I'm not going to bring it up because Dale doesn't want to hear it.
They need Christian Kirk type of receiver on this team. That's what they were missing last year. A guy that can take it off the top, but
And-
also catch underneath passes, but more importantly, get down the field.
I'm gonna give you that guy. I'm just gonna get, and I want you to look him up. Name is Brennan Thompson from Mississippi State.
It's ridiculous.
It is. It's not. Look, I won't be wrong.
Even
I'm
Google,
not wrong on
even,
these things.
even Google's going, who?
Yeah. But that's after. I've already added.
Love.
No. Well, I've added Love.
Yeah.
I've added Jeremiah. And see, and let me. Look. I'm not gonna get into everything because I don't want you to get it. But Brennan is.
I've got to get a copy. We got to post your draft pick,
Brennan
your mock
Thompson.
draft.
Okay, I'll get it to you.
Yeah,
Brennan
let's
Thompson,
start posting your mock draft.
Brennan Thompson is one of 3 receivers I'm bringing in.
Okay.
He has the speed. There's another one that's just sure-handed. And
What
great route
so what
runners.
round do you have to get him in?
Well, I'm getting all these guys within the first 2 rounds because, like I said, I've traded away my first, second, and third round picks in each of the next 2 years, plus a third first round pick the following. And third, I talk about 3 years. I'm getting a 3. I've traded away 3 years of number one, 3 years of number 1, 2 years of number 2, and 3 years.
Wait,
of
for
number
who?
3.
Who are you getting for that?
Well, he's going to wait.
I made these trades to the Rams. The Rams have 2 first-round picks at
Yes.
13 and 29.
Yes.
I've traded for the Houston Texans 2 second-round picks.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, now that gives me 3 firsts and 3 seconds, and I have fixed the Cardinals. I have.
Hey,
and
my
I've
Bidwell.
sacrificed capital going forward. I could look.
Let's go.
I'm gonna send this to Steve. I'm sending it
Yeah,
down.
no, send me a
You'll
mock
have
draft.
it.
I'll put it together. I'll put a graphic together for it. Here's my question: do you change your mock draft, or you're just set on it now going forward?
Well, this is what I've been working on since.
Well, that's what I'm just asking.
Probably December.
So, yeah, but that's what I'm asking. If you change it every week or once a
No,
month,
well,
we can post
there
it and
have been
stuff like
there have been some changes. I will.
Send us
admit
your
that.
latest review. Send it to me, and then
this-
I'll
but
post it, and
this-
we'll do the changes because we're doing a draft show this year, everybody. If
Yeah.
you don't know, so
Yeah, and I can fix the Cardinals, people. Trust me.
Well,
this roster will fix them.
And you know what's interesting about the confidence thing? You know, you have a coach now who's been under 2 of arguably the best coaches in the National Football League, and Shanahan and the guy in Los Angeles.
and Robert Saleh.
And again, I always go back to the Suns, and I go back to their 7 seconds or less, and I talk about Mike
I
D'Antoni.
love that era.
And the fact that the only time he'd take you out is if you didn't take the shot. And so you can you can really help a guy's confidence. Now,
Sure you
why
can.
he lost his none of us know that. Only Marvin knows what happened. Did he take a shot and now he's afraid to get hit? Who knows what happened?
Yeah, it's something between the ears.
Yes, but it's up here. It ain't here.
Yeah.
You know, and so a good coach can work on that.
There's no question because like you say, even you bring up the Suns. You brought 7 seconds left. No, let's look at this year's Suns with Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing at an offensive level we've never seen before.
Right.
Now he has a coach that is encouraging that, teammates that are encouraging that. Now we've seen a guy like Jordan. Why am I losing his name? Gosh darn it.
For the Suns?
Yeah, Jordan Goodwin.
Oh.
Goodwin was here under Budenholzer,
Yeah.
and it didn't work.
Right.
He's back under Ott, and my gosh, the Suns wouldn't be what they are without this guy.
Oh.
He's a tenacious booger that just gets under your skin. I
Right.
mean, so there's no question a coach can bring out that confidence in you. But I just think that Marvin has to take that first step.
Right.
We got to figure out what's haunting you.
Right.
There's something haunting you.
And hopefully he can do this because we don't have to look very far for really an underwhelming hire in Jordan Ott. Jordan Ott was
Right.
underwhelming.
Right.
I mean, people weren't jumping up and down. And
Well, they felt like they hired him a year early. They thought he had needed another year before he could become a head coach, and they got him early. And that's what the Cardinals.
Yeah,
are
and
hoping for.
so and I don't know if this. I thought about this at times. Look, it's not like the Cardinals are trying to suppress his skill set. They're saying, dude, you're the guy.
He was
You're
the
our
problem.
guy.
They were forcing the ball to him, and
balls
he
to him,
wasn't
yeah.
able to handle it.
So maybe the pressure was too much for him, which is really mind-boggling to me.
right.
You know, most players accept that challenge.
Especially wide receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
want
yeah.
it. They want to show
But,
off.
but
Yeah.
so I do agree that a coach, like, I know you alluded to it, can bring that out.
Right.
But it's not like the other coaches, like Gannon or his staff, has said no. They've pushed it. And
Well, the
forced
other
it.
But
thing I will
I
tell
don't know
you-
if they pushed it though. That's my point. It was more like he'll come out.
Dude,
of
if
it.
you're a professional, you have to push yourself.
I mean,
Hey, guys, here's the other thing that
Yeah.
you guys are missing.
Okay.
Would you say Puka Nacua is one of the top 3 receivers in the league?
He
He's
is,
up
and,
there.
he's a classic overachiever.
Yeah.
Fifth
Now,
round pick from BYU.
How many games did you see him running wide open?
all of them.
A lot.
Well-
and don't you think every defense came into the game going, we got to take
No,
him away?
that's my point. You got to scheme your receivers
but,
open.
But here's the deal: if you look at what the Rams have had as that other guy with him, there's some guy named Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Well,
There's some
yeah.
guy named Devontae
Devontae Adams,
and
yeah.
so I'm telling you, it's one of those pick your poison. That's
Well,
the
it's-
problem with the
But you
Cardinals.
have Wilson. This is the argument. When Wilson, when Marvin Harrison was out and Wilson had to step up, Wilson stepped up.
He did.
When did Harrison
He
ever
never-
step
he
up?
never did. He
so
never
you
did.
have somebody on the other
But-
side
but-
that can
but-
command
but-
some action,
Yeah,
and you refuse to get it.
But the Cardinals never knew that until
Which,
Marvin
which is
Harrison
issue, which is
wasn't-
issue number 2
wasn't
because
there. So I'm
the
just
coaching
tell-
staff didn't know what they had for 3 years.
I'm just telling you that when you can slip a back out of the backfield like a Kyron Williams
absolutely.
or a Corum in the passing game like the 49ers do, like the Falcons do,
the Rams running back, who you can't even think of his name right now because
Kyron Williams and,
him,
and Blake
but
Corum.
even the backup guy, most
Blake
people are
Corum.
like, who? But those guys are integral to that offense. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
If you bring this offense that he knows from LA into here, scheme guys open, the excuses go away. The Cardinals under Drew Penzing couldn't scheme themselves out of a wet paper sack.
No question. But also like, and I go back to Dale's days with Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was a big proponent of speed. Speed kills.
Yes.
teach speed.
That's lacking with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Look, with the running backs that I'm bringing on this squad and the receivers, I mean, Cardinals are going to have an injection of speed, explosive burst, all those things. They don't have that. I want to scare the crap out of opposing defenses.
Right.
I want to make them pick their poison. I mean, geez, when you draft a receiver, a 4th overall, and Marvin Harris, we're fixed. No, dude, stop it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: Tua looks like he's going to be released from the Dolphins post
Not
June
interested.
1st designation.
Not interested.
Well, I agree with you. Injury reasons for me, and then his arm. But here's the other question that you got though. That's going to change the Kyler Murray market, right? You're not Kyler Murray's not getting traded. You're going to have to release him, in my opinion,
I'm
coming up.
doing
there.
neither.
But it's going to affect that market, is what I'm getting at. Make you decide on your decision today.
Well, look. If you're interested in Jacoby or Brissett, I'll send him your way for a 5th round pick. I have him going to the Steelers for a 5th round pick.
Jacoby?
Yeah, like I said,
With Mike McCarthy?
Look. What do you have right now? You're hoping that 90-year-old Aaron Rodgers comes back. You know, I mean, you
I
don't
have been reading.
anything-
Nobody has said who it is, but I have been reading that Mike McCarthy was like, I can get X quarterback here with me, and that's what the Steelers liked. And nobody will say who that quarterback is. So let's see if that's true or not.
Well, what is ex-quarterback?
Well, no, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is. Nobody has said. But I read that the name wasn't Aaron Rodgers.
Well, let me put it to you like this: he can't unless he's going to the Canadian Football League. There ain't nobody he can bring here that I ain't heard of.
Well, no, I'm
That's
talking
worth-
about
that's
you know,
worth a
who
darn.
can go there. Well, like Jimmy G just re-signed, because I was like, maybe LaFleur can get like a Jimmy G here for a year or two
Hey,
as like a bridge set. But he just re-signed with the Rams.
Jimmy G has proven
Yeah.
that he can get the job. Look,
But he just
he-
re-signed with the Rams for a 1-year deal.
oh, did he?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I read.
Well, maybe
It's not official, but that's what I read.
Maybe he knows something about Matthew Stafford.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Because they don't know Matthew Stafford. Is he talking about retiring or is he coming back?
Boy.
Good question.
Boy, you talk about going out on top if he does decide to retire. Because
Yeah,
he had a rejuvenation during the regular season.
He'll be MVP.
I mean,
He'll
because
win.
in preseason, he's like you and me, Coop. I mean, he couldn't even hand the ball off. His back was hurting so bad, supposedly.
Yeah.
He couldn't even walk. Remember the
Yeah.
videos we'd see about him? He'd be like, "Oh." So that's the NFL talking news out there that we wanted to bring up. Obviously, coaching. We'll see how that press conference goes today. Roger Goodell yesterday had his State of the Union. I just want you guys to hear this. There's a lot of nonsense, Bad Bunny stuff, a lot of halftime questions and stuff like that. But then he was asked about his officials.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Let's see what Roger Goodell thinks about his officiating out there in the NFL. Here's Roger Goodell yesterday.
Well, again, I'm really I'm so amazed at how good our officials are. I mean, we spend time all week looking at various angles and still debating it a week later. These guys have to make a split-second decision. And the men and women on our field are incredible. And I think that they've proven over and over again they're really wonderful at what they do. On the other hand, it's a difficult sport to officiate. It's fast. It's quick. And we have to be able to use technology, in my view, to try to prevent the obvious errors.
Well, I agree with him. Look, I think technology has really aided the NFL like no other sport, and
They use it the right way. Of all the leagues, they use it the right way.
Right.
So they need to use more of it.
Yeah. But it's some of those judgmental calls that kind of drive me crazy with the pass interferences.
Which is where you need more technology involved. To help
Yeah,
out.
but
but you can't say your officials are really, really good at what they do, and then say, "Oh, we need more technology to help them out."
No, see, I think you can because again, to me, it's like, for instance. What I'd always do every year, beginning of the year, I'd put my offensive lineman at quarterback in the pocket.
So they can experience.
So they can experience a pass rush. So they can experience nonsense going on. Because a lot of times this looks easy to play quarterback. But now when you throw all those things in there, you realize, it's a little harder than I give it credit for. Those officials, I agree with Goodell because we've done that. They make a call. And a week later, you're still debating it, and you got and you got to make
that's where the technology comes in.
Well, let me tell you. See, the most egregious call I've ever seen in my life in the NFL when they had technology and they went and it clearly told me that they did not like the Raiders. I mean, that tuck call, brother. Let me tell you something. I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm not a Raiders fan.
Yeah, they went
I
deep into the rule book for
I didn't
that
have a
one.
dog in the fight. I kept saying to myself, I'm watching the game. Look, it's a fumble. Let's just move on to the next play. And when they made the call and the tuck rule, I mean, even a guy like Gruden said, "What? I've never heard of that." I mean, no one had ever heard of a tuck call, a tuck rule. I mean, stop it. So that's the most egregious. That's when I knew that there was some hanky panky with that because that wasn't right.
I would actually argue here, like when he says we look at it during the week and we're still arguing about it. That's hogwash. Because how many replays do we look at and we go, okay, that's the call. It makes sense. But they make that call in a replay.
There's still a number of calls.
It's not because your rules are too convoluted then.
Hey, there is another.
When they're arguing about what's a catch or not all week long because the NFL doesn't know what a catch is.
Well, I'll grant you that, but the second most egregious call was that pass interference that in that Rams Saints game, the playoff game.
That can be fixed in 2 seconds with somebody going, you guys are dumbasses. Return that call. Replace that, please.
But that's the problem. See, that's the issue, though. And there is no replay to fix pass interference.
There needs to be more eye in the sky calling that stuff.
Even on pass interference where it's a judgment call.
Sometimes they're not judgment calls. Sometimes there's an outright tackle that a ref doesn't throw a flag on that you can throw a flag on.
But here's the deal. Do you
guys want to hear my conspiracy theory? Go ahead.
Well,
do you? I know they give the challenge flag, and if you get it, do you open up Pandora's box and include pass interference?
This is my argument here. Most of the pass interferences that we look at and everything, you can tell if it's by the rule or not, and you can tell pretty quickly. You could fix that instantly, right? But how many times you hear referees where the referees huddle together? You can't tell me that somebody's not in their ear.
Oh, absolutely they are.
Telling them, hey, you guys missed it. And most of the time, if you pay attention when they pick up the flags, it's on those judgment calls. And you can't tell me that somebody's not in their ear going, that was a horrible flag. Pick that up. You didn't see it. Say you didn't see it. And then the ref goes, no flag, no flag. They're getting the help regardless. They're not publicizing they're not getting the help. You need to be more forthcoming about it. That's my conspiracy theory of the day. They're in their ears telling them, on these judgment calls, and they're telling them what to do. When it's egregious.
Well, I think I
And
see
you need
that.
to be more
I think I
publicist.
see that more on like possession plays. Was it a fumble? Was it an incomplete pass or anything? I thought they got the play call wrong with the Jarrett Stidham pass when he clearly did the two-hand deal like that. It didn't look like a lateral to me.
But it went backwards right off the bat. That was the
I didn't see it. I mean, what am I looking at then? I must be blind. I didn't see the ball go backwards.
I mean, they probably debated that for a whole week in the NFL offices, Coop.
Wow. Wow.
Hey, let's take our break here. Come back. We got some baseball we got to talk. Cardinals, I got to get your thoughts on Bobby Hurley. What? We got to pick a game to go to see Bobby Hurley's last game.
There's also the NBA trading deadline
I'm gonna
on
ask you that.
Thursday. I mean, I want to get you guys thoughts on
Yeah,
that.
we got that coming for you as well. Come on back, folks. Main events with Coop. And we're back here. Main events Tuesdays with Bruce Cooper. Local legend out there from Channel 12 joins us on Tuesdays and everything. Yeah, by the way, I meant to tell you during the break, unwind that a little bit more because I got a couple more clips here for you, so you're not choking on your headset there,
There you go.
and everything. Hey, let's just hit up college basketball really quick. To me, ASU just doesn't have the length to compete with Arizona or the physicality. They got out-physicaled in that game, specifically the second half. Your quick thoughts on that on Saturday?
You're absolutely right. I mean, as skilled and as talented as Masamba Diop is, their 7-foot freshman center, there's no question that he's an NBA prospect, NBA talent, and he'll be there. But he's too slight.
He needs the
He's
physicality side.
like Victor Wembanyama when he came in the league. He's just too slight. You know, you got to get in that weight room. You got to build it up, and they just don't really have anybody that imposes any type of physicality. I mean. The ball, they don't have anyone that goes and gets the ball, if you will. That's when a great rebounder is. You see
the ball's yours.
Kobe do that with the Wildcat.
Yeah. That ball's mine. I'm going to go get it.
Right. And
He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that mindset.
The ball has to come to them as opposed to them going to get it.
He's too nice.
Yeah.
That was exposed on Saturday.
And so, but I during the broadcast, I was really blown away by this. They said that Arizona Wildcats, and they have played one of the more grueling schedules. They played
it's about to get tough again.
And they said that they've only either trailed or been tied at halftime 3 times. And 2 of those have been against ASU. I'm like, what the freak? What the heck is that all about?
Playing down to the competition. 50 points in the paint for Arizona on Saturday, 20 for Arizona State. That just tells you the level of physicality and boards and stuff to that effect.
They're not even in U of A's league in terms of just talent, overall talent.
So 11-11 on the season. Then Bobby Hurley says things, like this. You attack the fans. Here's Bobby Hurley after the game talking about the fans at the stadium and how that arena was more U of A fans. So Hurley on the fans here.
Our fans that did show up were vocal. I mean, unfortunately, there were too many red shirts in the arena, so it was not a home game. It was like a crowd 50-50, 60-40 either way. I mean, it's hard to say, but it was loud in there both ways. When they got it going, it was loud. When we had a little spurt, it got loud. And, I got no real strong opinion on it.
Obviously he doesn't make the fans show up there with the way they play and stuff like that, but they're 6-5 at home this year. I didn't go back and look at previous years. But playing at home is not the problem.
Well, they're
1-5 on the road. By the way.
They suffer from the Cardinal syndrome. Unless you're going to give the fans a reason to come out and cheer, to give them an expectation that you're going to win.
Yeah. Well, at least play hard.
They're not going to show up.
Yeah,
at least
play hard.
You're only going to get the loyal ones.
But he's complaining about the fans. Not a home game.
Well,
they're 6-5 at home, 1-5 on the road. So. You can't have it both ways. To me, he's making excuses.
Steve, I didn't take him as complaining. I didn't hear the question, so you missed the
context. Well, no, but I'm putting it on top of a couple weeks ago when he said our fans are boring and the Morgan here. And,
well, it is. But he did also qualify that by saying we don't give them a reason to come and show up.
Yeah.
And so I just look. If Arizona State was a team that could protect, look, we saw the Cardinals win one game this year.
At home?
One game
Did
at
they
home.
win one? Yeah.
1-9 or something like that, or 1-8.
They lose so much at home now the last several years.
And so fans Just sell the tickets.
Right.
And when they were in Sun Devil Stadium, you used to make the excuse, "Oh, it's too hot. They got the metal." No. When you win, they will show up.
Yeah.
If ASU wins on a consistent basis and stuff like that, they will show up.
Yeah, you had looked no further than the Phoenix Suns and the arena this year versus last year.
Yeah.
There's no comparison.
Yeah, last year you could buy tickets for like $4.
Yeah.
Upper level tickets for $4.
Yeah, and so,
Good luck doing
and
that
so,
this year.
so Bobby has a roster problem, and I think that ASU has to turn the page now.
Yeah.
Because they got to bring in. They
you
got
do it
to
before the end of the
They
season?
got to change it. No. What good would that do?
Well, I don't know. Maybe a coach that's not depressed after every game.
No,
Maybe he wants to
it's not
coach
going
him.
it's not going to help him this year.
Yeah.
Coach Irv will help him with his positivity.
So at the end of the day, they still have the same.
They have a month left.
roster.
No, I don't disagree. But
they have to turn the page, because now if you bring in a new face, that new face may be a little bit more energetic. He may have a few more connections, and maybe you have a booster base that will throw in more money to bring in.
I made
players.
the analogy last week. Last Wednesday, Molly Miller played Arizona, and she beat Arizona. First time since 2022, the women's program has beat the Arizona women's program and everything. She's celebrating. She's in the crowd, high-fiving people. And I get women celebrate differently than guys do, right, and stuff to that effect.
Yeah, but I think
you need a Molly Miller on the men's side. Bobby Hurley is not.
Right.
You got the football coach who's energetic and excited, Molly Miller that's energy and excited. Then you got Bobby Hurley's that's just mad at the world and yelling at everybody all the time. It's an obvious difference.
Yeah, and I think that's why Graham Rossini will move on and bring someone else in. And so now you look around and you say, who is that guy? Well, heck, I think we're probably 2 years too late, because the job I'm seeing that Kevin Young, who Devin Booker wanted to be the head coach over Mike Budenholzer, the job he's doing at BYU.
Yeah.
I mean, he brought in the number one freaking recruit in the nation.
Brought in
AJ DeBell. Yeah, right. Well. Look. But here's the deal.
He's making record money.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
He got those boosters to buy in and believe to
Absolutely.
do that.
No, I agree.
Because I can't think of that coach that left and went to Kentucky that opened up the job. That he wasn't doing that.
Right.
He didn't do
No,
that.
I
and
disagree.
so with Bobby Hurley, maybe it's the booster said,
I
ain't feeling this dude.
I
don't
can
like
tell you
him.
this because I was like invited to it and everything. But Molly Miller, they had like this big get together to support the women's program. More people showed up for that in terms of boosters than have ever showed up for a Bobby Hurley thing or whatever. It's because you need an energetic person that's going to rally you around it. And Bobby Hurley's just he hasn't been in for a long time and stuff. And I know we're moving away from him and stuff. But
how about a guy named Bryce Drew? He's sitting over there at Grand Canyon.
that's what I'm leaning towards here. You have people local that could easily come over and rebuild the program that with that energetic. They're younger, they're energetic. Not that Bobby Hurley's an old man, but you need somebody in today's day and age. To me, I've been reading stories. Bobby Hurley's temperament's not made for like national people talking about it. He's not in today's basketball program. He's not going to be successful coaching today's kids and stuff.
Well, I think
so you need somebody that can do that.
Well, I think he's hurting the program from this standpoint that boosters don't want to support him.
I want nothing to do with him. I want
Right.
zero of my
Right.
money that goes to ASU to go anywhere near the basketball program
Right.
because of him. Period.
Right.
And,
And so
and by the way, I felt that way for like 3 years now.
Yeah, and so
2 to 3 years.
I think for ASU to turn the corner from that standpoint, that they have to turn the page with Bobby Hurley.
He's had 10 years.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, have you given him enough time? Have you?
the officials.
Have you let him build this program up over and through recruiting classes? And it hasn't worked.
Right.
I'm of the opinion we need to just give the officials a break, man. They've taken abuse for 10 years, and we need their mental health to get better here as well, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
I've actually, and I had never really thought of Bryce Drew, but I mean, do you really want to go raid Grand Canyon a second
cares?
consecutive year?
Well,
Who
hey,
cares? Absolutely.
if
Who
you got the same
cares? Do it.
results.
Yeah, but I look around and I don't know that I want to exhaust more avenues before I go there.
No, I know. He's just throwing it out. But that's the
Yeah.
obvious Molly Miller connection that you
Right.
can look at. No, there's got to be somebody that's young, energetic, that can come in here. Like Herb Sendek was a great basketball mind, but dude was hard to talk to. very technical, very stale,
Herb,
stuff to that effect.
Herb is also ultra sensitive. You know, I criticized him on the air, and do you know that Mark Brand was the SID.
Yeah.
He told me that Herb Sindick would like to meet with me.
Really?
Yeah. So I went there, and I went go in the room. So he has a projector screen up, and he's playing and he's trying to talk about what he's doing based on my criticisms. And he said his bottom line was, look, you're not helping us going forward with your criticism because you don't understand what it is that we are doing. So he's trying to explain all this dynamic. So he's ultra sensitive.
Right.
Did you walk out of that meeting and go, Herb Sindick's gone soon? He's more worried about what I'm saying than what his team's doing.
I definitely had some thoughts along those lines.
More or less sensitive than the Cardinals coach who used to get mad at me.
But look, to Herb Sindick's credit, he was not rude.
Yeah.
He was not overbearing or anything like that. But he just wanted me to explain. He wanted to explain to me
what they're trying to accomplish.
And what I'm missing. And then his final message was, your criticism isn't helping my program.
Right.
I'd like to get you on board with me, and I think by me getting you on the
understand
board
that.
is that you see what it is I'm trying to accomplish.
I can understand that.
So
I guess.
so I didn't really have a problem.
Hey, Kobe, throw up the athletic offseason grades here for us for Major League Baseball. I just want to get your thoughts, pitchers and catchers. We'll talk more of this on Tuesday, obviously, next week when you come back. Yeah, Diamondbacks, third from the bottom there, D+, according to the Athletic, with their offseason moves this winter.
Well, what were they last year? Probably an A, huh? When they brought in the big pitcher and
Corbin Burns.
Yeah.
Well, he was a late addition, so I don't know if he would have been counted.
Well,
but.
look, outside of Michael Soroka and then bringing back Merrill Kelly, I mean, what have they really done?
Nothing.
Everybody else is like
filling arms. But they have. That's the thing. They didn't have spots they needed to fill, though. Like they had to get rid of what's his name? Not Alec Thomas, the other one, McCarthy, for bag of balls and a double-A pitcher, because they had the back hold there. So there wasn't a lot of moves they could make. I do like their third base signing. Now, what are they going to do with first base? There's a lot of rumors out there going in, but I mean we're a week away, and then they're doing like clockwork. They came out this weekend and talked about how much money they lost last year, and how we're so poor.
Well, you're right. I did forget Nolan Arenado.
Yeah.
That was probably their biggest move to date.
So I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up and make you guys depressed about this upcoming Diamondback season that we're.
Well,
about
why is everything so negative?
I'm sorry. A D+ is positive.
The reason why I'm not so, brokenhearted or downtrodden about that is
A's are even better.
I look at the NBA calendar. The Suns were picked to finish 14th or 15th in their conference,
in the Western Conference.
Yeah. And not even make 30 wins. I think you guys going to make some big money on that.
Yeah, next game they win tonight. We're going to make it as the Suns play tonight as well. I just wanted to bring that up to everybody.
Coop, are you going to be able to make it up for a 9 o'clock tip-off?
Oh, I'll be there.
Yeah?
You're going to be up?
Absolutely.
You're going to take a nap tonight?
One thing that I don't have a problem with is staying up late. I have a major problem is getting up
Get
early.
up in the morning.
As I told him, like, we got dinner tonight because it's Ethan's 18th birthday. He's in the back over there and everything. And I'm like, we're doing dinner like 5 or 5:30. Like, even if we do dinner at 6 and we go late.
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to pass the next 3 hours?
And you think we'll ever make it to Steak 44?
I know.
After this is my last week as a Phoenix Open week. But starting next week.
Wait, dude, what do you mean Phoenix Open? What are you doing at the
Well,
Phoenix Open?
I entered the tournament, and so I started playing Wednesday in the Pro-Am now. But I go out there a couple days.
It.
But next week,
what does that got to do with scheduling our dinner?
Next week it opens up, so you guys let me know what works starting next week.
Here's the problem.
Let us know.
You know what he's going to say next? Oh, then we got spring. All the baseball players are there for spring training. That's what's coming next. He's always going to have.
We got March Madness coming up. I mean, it's busy.
Like, they're booked because of spring training. All the baseball players are there.
Hey, let me ask you this then. Who do you guys like in the Super Bowl? Because I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about you when I come back here next week.
Yeah.
If you get it wrong.
Oh, Seattle by a landslide.
Now, see, I don't think it's a landslide.
Yeah. By landslide, I mean like 10, 14 points for a Super Bowl. That's a big
I think
win.
it's going to. Here's the thing. We have this this gambling guy on named Uncle Lou, and he's good at UFC, and he does college baseball. He's got his niches. And he has a saying that says, when everybody goes one way, go the other way.
Except for in the Super Bowl. Last week he goes, put your money on Seattle. Put your money on Seattle now. Put your money on Seattle next week. Put your money on Seattle leading up to the game. Put your money on Seattle is what he said.
I agree with Steve. I'm taking a double-digit win for the Seattle.
Really?
Yes.
I see. I think that New England will cause just enough problems with Darnold.
They're not going to be able to score.
And I bet you that they get a couple turnovers up. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm not saying New England's going to win, but it ain't going to be no double digit.
What do you know? What have you done? You've never played in the Super Bowl.
I want your winner. Who's your winner?
I say Seattle wins by a field goal.
Okay.
Yeah, Seattle by 10.
We
or
both
so,
got double digits.
Yeah, and look
unfortunately.
at you two. You're two knuckleheads.
Man, look at us. Smart man over here.
All right, NBA trade deadline. I don't want to jump over here.
Oh, yeah. No, let's get it.
But I don't really expect a whole lot out of the Suns outside of Nick Richards trades. But I'll tell you what I have seen. They've been exposed on the boards. And you know what really teed me off in the Clippers game? Because I talked about it with the Miami game. Did you see that Ty Lue played Zubac and Brooks Lopez together? They killed some.
That was the story of it. ASU has a length problem and Suns have a length problem.
But Ott, and again, I can't say anything about him based on the greatness that he's been this year with the Suns. Why can't he play Oso and Williams together? I mean, that's what drives me crazy.
But it even goes a step farther. They had nobody to guard Kawhi Leonard, which if you don't know, Kawhi Leonard is a basketball player, but he's got length. He's got when he puts his arms up there to shoot, it's impossible to block the
there's
shot.
a lot of people who can't guard Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, but that's my point. They couldn't guard at any point out there with the length of the Clippers.
Okay,
that they
but
played
when
with.
I'm going to hear, listen to this.
But
and
I
see
agree
what
with
you
you
think.
on that too.
Okay.
Number one, they shot 35% from two. Okay, that doesn't happen. Number two, if you don't have those two big brute guys, don't you try and beat them with speed and make those guys come out and play defense and hit open shots?
But Dale, here's the problem. You have to be perfect, and they don't, because they can get the rebound and shoot again, and get the rebound and shoot again and rebound. I saw that too many times.
Yeah, it happened a lot.
They got second, third, fourth, and fifth opportunities in one trip down the court.
I think you know how I feel. The fact that if something's not working, I'm going to try something different. Guess what? If you play those two together, that might not work. But I'm going to give it a shot.
Absolutely. Look, you're going to negate their dominance on the board.
You would think, yes.
63 total rebounds by the Clippers, 35 for the Suns.
Oh, gee, that's almost a 30-point
I wanted to
difference.
look it up to make sure I was right. Offensive rebounds, 15 for the Clippers, 10 for the Suns, but no, 48 defensive rebounds for the Clippers, 25 for the Suns. No, it linked. I see we came in on the show on Monday.
48 rebounds because the Suns missed so many damn shots. They shot better from three than from two.
But I know they were exposed. But how many teams? The Rockets have that length, and the Clippers have that length. How many other teams have that big of a length?
Well, the Suns can counteract it by playing their two bigs together.
Here's the disgusting stat. This is why I looked it up. Clippers had 17 turnovers in this game. The Suns had 4.
Yeah.
And then you got the rebound side of it as well. It was just utter domination by the Clippers. And after beating Detroit and Cleveland, which are better matchups for the Suns. But I agree with you. Get rid of Nick Richards. I get it. They're going to want to get below the luxury tax a little bit more. But they have – I would have liked to seen them even put Malowich out there a little earlier than they did.
Absolutely. I mean,
what's the worst? Send the kid out there, tell him to get 5 fouls, and tell him to come sit at the bench.
Yeah.
But try him in that situation.
Look,
just be a body there.
He's 7'2" with a 7 with a length.
Have him stand there.
Look.
Yes.
Even if he's in there and he just
Malowich.
gets in the way. That means that Zubac ain't getting the board.
Which is why the Suns struggled at 2-point shots, was because they had to alter all of their shots and layups because of the threat of it being blocked out there. I noticed that too. It's been a worry for the Suns, but they've been able to expose it. But that was now you can kind of pass it off where they beat the that was just their letdown game after beating Detroit and Cleveland. But that was an exposure that you didn't expect.
It's really hard to be critical of Jordan Ott based on the job that he's done. But my gosh, I watched the same thing transpire with the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, come on.
Okay,
I've
but
noticed that a little
I'll
bit.
take those back-to-back wins over two pretty damn good
there's,
teams.
there's no question. That's why I said it's hard to be critical.
and you're doing this without Devin Booker.
Yeah.
It's hard
and
to be
Jalen
critical.
Green
And
for
you're
the
doing
most part.
without Jalen. I don't play any more Green.
So a lot of people saying trade Jalen Green. I see a lot of people going trade Jalen Green. We don't need him
What are
here
you
anymore.
going to get for him?
Nothing. Doesn't matter. You're not getting anything from him now.
Dude, let me tell you something. What Jalen Green has shown in Houston, there's not a chance in the world I'm getting rid of him.
Yeah.
No. Well, I'll put it this way. He's not hurting the team by sitting on the bench. If anything, if you can get anything out of him this year, it's just going to be an improvement.
Well, again, I don't think that we're looking at an Anthony Davis or a
Bradley Beal.
well, I was going to mention the big guy in New Orleans, Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
Those guys, they live on the
bench.
injured reserve,
Yeah.
and so that's not a Jalen Green's case.
It hasn't. And it looks like he enjoys being there. It's not like he's a malcontent or.
Look. Zion Williamson, when he was hurt, he wasn't even going to the team's
right.
games and stuff like that. He was out of town seeing some
As
other.
as Barkley says, he was at the Arby's. I'm joking on that, but the trade deadline is on Thursday. Looks like Harden is going to be removed. High water by the Clippers.
I'm trying to understand.
What changed in a week?
Well, so that's what I was telling Dale. I think, and Kawhi Leonard was peppered with trade questions with Harden yesterday, and he answered them very neutral as possibly he could answer them, just very neutral.
Well, look,
But that tells me Kawhi Leonard didn't like Chris Paul there, so they jettisoned him out. The Clippers learned a lesson about that, and I believe they're telling James Harden to stay home right now while they're trying to trade him. So Kawhi Leonard is still
here's
commanding
the
that
deal.
team.
Here's the deal.
That's what I said.
Since they've gotten rid of Chris Paul, and I got to give Chris Paul a little credit because he was getting on Kawhi Leonard.
He was
for
asking
his
him to
absence.
play.
And now all of a sudden Kawhi's playing all the time.
Yeah.
But I saw the stat where since Christmas they are 16-4.
Yeah.
That's the best record
Oh,
in basketball. So if Harden and Kawhi Leonard are working, why would I even want to try
That's
and
what's
trade him?
confusing.
It makes no sense unless they Harden knows something we don't know. I know there's
Something
this,
happened.
There's this big deal that one of the ESPN writers broke it. I can't remember who it was, Basketball Insider. This insider money that was
Yes.
paid to Kawhi.
Kawhi, yeah.
And so maybe there's pending litigation about a possible suspension for
It's
him.
coming.
Maybe Harden already knows that they're gonna suspend a guy.
You
Yeah.
think Harden cares about that?
I don't want to be around. I don't
But
know.
then Harden would want to be the guy because then he would be the main guy on the team at
because
that point.
then the paper clips will go back to sucking.
Yeah,
because
right.
before Kawhi started playing,
Yeah.
that was what 6 and
I've
21.
I've heard
Yeah.
that rumor, and I'm just like, but even then, that means something's happened between his relationship with Harden and Kawhi at that
and
point.
I just and it makes no sense. And then you have the Antetokounmpo trade rumors, and they say that the Golden State Warriors have the inside track there. I'm like, dude, Golden State. They tried to get Kevin Durant. He said no. Then they went and got 39-year-old, I guess he's 37 or whatever,
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's coming off a big serious injury. So now you're going after, how old is Antetokounmpo? About 34, 35?
It's got to be by
Yeah.
now, right?
I think he's early 30s.
But he's still got a lot of career left. It's just can he stay healthy?
They keep chasing these old
Yeah.
guys.
Well, it's because they have an older team.
I get that Steph Curry is older, and maybe you want to go for something now, and now that he's on the downside of his career. But my gosh, dude,
The biggest shock
You're
to me
getting-
about that trade move was I was telling you I see a lot of Draymond Green getting moved, which actually shocks me.
yeah. Well, maybe they have to do it to make the salary
You have
work.
to,
but
yeah.
but I understand
With
that
an
that-
expiring
that-
contract,
that,
so-
that the Warriors are giving up a lot of their draft capital as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude.
That's what the Warriors owner does though. He has so much money that he's just like, I don't care. He's that I don't care. I'll go in the ninth.
Oh,
pick, right?
Giannis is 31.
Yeah, young
What
30s.
is
yeah.
that all?
Yeah. Yeah. 31.
Dude, stop it.
Yeah, so he's not.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have guessed that he was 34, 35.
Yeah.
My goodness.
and
I'm seeing here. Look at this. Bon Temps from ESPN is saying that the Oklahoma City Thunder could trade for James Harden again.
why would they want him to mess
They
with
have
their
so. I know, that's
chemistry?
that's what we said about the Cavs. James Harden going to the Cavs because they're reportedly the front runners as of this morning. Man, the Cavs are a free-flowing, fun team to watch with the offensive power. Why would you want a ball stopper like Harden to go to your team?
And plus, there's
That's
no
what I
good
don't get.
strip bars in
and
Cleveland.
plus, if you're Cleveland, you look at your point guard Darius Garland.
Yeah.
He, at some point he's going to come back healthy.
you would think.
Yeah.
And how are Donovan Mitchell and Harden get along together?
I don't know. I mean, look.
That's crazy.
Well, Mitchell's contract is up after this season. Don't forget, he is a free agent after this year.
Oh, is
So
that
maybe
right?
they're looking for Harden to replace him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Crazy.
just read right now on ESPN. That might be why Cleveland wants to make this move, is to set it up for Donovan Mitchell leaving them, after the season as well. But that's the shocking news there. But so you say Suns just Nick Richards to get down below that luxury tax again, and
based on what I'm seeing, I'd like to see them get a bruiser, a guy that'll go in and bang on those boards and stuff, But that's going
That
to
ain't
put
gonna
them
happen.
in a different
Yeah.
tax bracket.
No,
anyway.
they definitely want to get below this luxury tax penalty
sure,
that they
no
have
doubt.
right now. And why wouldn't you when you're playing this well as well, right? Moving into
And they're not even playing Richards really.
No.
Well, no, yeah, he's the odd
And maybe
man
they're
out.
not doing so purposely because they don't want to injure him before the deadline.
Right.
Well, you don't want to show the other team how bad he is before.
Oh,
they
he's
trade
not a
for him.
bad player.
I know, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, he just Mark Williams, even in Charlotte, was the better player when the Suns made that trade last year, right? To do that. So the trade deadline's on Thursday. You said Seattle big on Sunday.
Seattle big.
You going out to the Open at all? Waste Management Open? You
I
gonna go with
hope
that
not.
debauchery?
Look, let me tell you something.
Where the hellish trades are hanging out?
I for 34 years, and even since I've even gone the last couple years, dude. I tell you what, one of the things that I dread about the Open is the parking, and then when you're leaving,
Yeah,
it's a quagmire.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I never go on. I've been to Saturday once. And that was when we were at the radio station, and I had to go for some sponsor stuff and everything. I've only been once in my whole life. I just don't want to deal with it.
I go Thursday and Sunday.
That's usually when I'd go. I'd go Friday and Sunday, but I think
Oh,
this year I'm just going for this Sunday.
Sunday doesn't get that big.
No,
crowd.
it does
Sunday I
not get that
love.
big of a crowd.
You
You get there, you leave when the leaders are on 17. You get home before the Super Bowl, you're good to go.
That's usually what I do.
See,
too,
I
so.
used to hate it because I'd have to stay around
Yeah.
and interview the
Yeah,
interview the winner,
Winner.
and then by the time I get to the station, it's halftime of the Super Bowl.
Right.
I'm chapped.
Robert does say Giannis is 31. I thought that was his free throw percentage.
Yeah.
So that's too high for his free throw percentage.
31 years old. So we'll get Steak 44. We'll talk about it next week, but my schedule frees up a lot, Coop. So we'll come up with a
Hey,
name.
but can we get some cookies by design, or cookies for home, or whatever? I mean,
That's long gone, Coop. I sold that. You had your share of those back in the day.
Yeah.
did.
They even they were so traumatized by it that the new owner shut it down recently, right?
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
a couple
stop
months
it.
ago.
Yeah, well, once Hellas Trade leaves, hey,
Well-
SMU program gets shut down. Cowboys, they don't win a Super Bowl. Cookies by Design gets shut down. And you tell me.
Jeez.
You tell me.
Oh my, I love it.
How
man.
many years after you sold it did they sell it that you're taking claim for this?
They closed it probably. We sold it just before COVID.
Yeah.
And shut down last
So
year.
2019, yeah. So 7. He's taking credit for 7
Yes,
years later.
Yes. Cowboys haven't been back to the Super Bowl. SMU's not reached their greatness again.
They made the playoffs a couple years ago. Can you believe this? This is what we got to deal with.
I
out
love
there.
it. I love it.
So Coop joins us on Tuesdays. Make sure you join us as well for that. For the rest of the week, of course, Lou coming up on Thursday. Look, Waste Management Open Week. We're going to pay attention to that. More Super Bowl stuff as the week goes on. Come and join us.
I say Tiger Woods
well.
wins the Open.
I ain't bet against Scotty Scheffler.
No, not the way he's playing. But Xander, I'm a little worried about Xander. Missed his first cut in like 50-something tournaments.
I don't think Tiger's ever coming back here.
No.
Oh, not
He
now.
made surgery.
He tried that one year and ended up having to withdraw
Yeah.
but on Friday, I think it was. So be a fun time. Coop, thank you as always. For everybody else, we'll see you tomorrow. McCollum on Business was this morning, so check it out on demand now. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday night.